Hey there, I'm Kara Plichinich, and I'm going to show you how to create not one, but two simple holiday posters and mock them up using two of this week's freebies from Creative Market, the Cosmos brush script typeface and a holiday mock-up scene. Click the link to download the files and play along. From the included mock-up collection, I'm going to choose file number 2, but I'm going to tweak these colors a little bit because I'd rather have like greens instead of blues here, and I want to change this red to make it less pink and just more traditional holiday type colors. So I'm going to add a HueSaturation adjustment layer, and I'm going to take the hue value and change it to -5 as well as the saturation value. Then I'm going to come up here and change this drop down from master to reds. And I'm going to tweak the reds by making them +5 and a saturation value of +40 and a lightness value of -45. And last but not least, let's address the blues over here by targeting the blues in the image, and we're going to change the hue value here to a -175. And when I tab over, you can see that now instead of blues, we have greens here. So that's looking good. We can close that out. Next thing I want to do is sample a few colors from this image that I'm going to use to create our design. So I want to make sure I'm on the background layer, and I've got my swatches panel open. So I'll grab my eyedropper tool by pressing, you can click on it on the toolbar or press I for eyedropper. And I want my sample size set to 3x3 average. So I'm going to click to select a dark brown from on this frame. And I can add it to my swatches panel by just clicking in an empty area. I'll click OK to accept that default swatch name, whatever that was. I'm going to also select or sample this area here. We'll add that right there. And this red color here, and we'll add that as well. All right, so now we're ready to make the art that's going to go in these frames. Now, the size is not a typical size that we would have here in the US, so we're going to just create a size and we'll just tweak it to fit in this mock-up, but we'll do something that you could buy a frame off the shelf for here. So we're going to come up to File, New. We'll set our inches to 16 for the width, our height to 20 inches, a resolution of 300. We want to make sure we're in RGB color mode, and we're going to use white for the background content. So once you've got that set, go ahead and click OK. All right, to add the text, I'm going to grab the type tool and make sure I've got the Cosmos font selected up here. If you don't see that as an available option in your fonts, make sure you've actually downloaded and installed it, and then it should installed and activated it should show up here. And I've already got this red color selected, so with my type tool, I'm just going to click and I'm going to type capital H-O exclamation point, and I'll set that type. I'm going to Alt Option drag to duplicate the type layer. Now we didn't choose a green color, but I want to make this green. So in my swatches panel, I'm just going to choose a green color that I like this one, and then I'll do this keyboard shortcut on a Mac. It's Option Delete. On a PC, I believe that it is Control Delete to fill your layer with your current foreground color. Then I'm going to duplicate it one more time, and this time we'll select the brown color and I'll fill it there. All right, so I'll just adjust these layers, position them where I want within the design, and when I'm happy with how things look, I am going to save this. And then I'm going to press Command or Control A to select everything. And I want to copy and paste, but instead of just regular copy and paste, I want to copy a merged version that's going to have all these layers together as one. So to do that, I'll just come up here and choose copy merged, and then we can actually close this document, and we'll pop back over here to our mockup. And what I want to do is double click this poster layer on this thumbnail right here. This little icon indicates that this is a smart object. So when I double click here, it's going to open another file, and I can just turn off the design layer, and I'm going to do Command or Control Shift V to paste our design right in the center here. And for whatever reason, it's coming up with an opacity of 30%. So let's fix that. And then we'll go ahead and transform it, because you can see that it's way too big for this document. So I'm going to press Command or Control T, and I can't see the control handles because this design is way too huge for this particular mockup. So to see those handles, I'm going to press Command or Control 0 to scoot back, and here we can see them. And I'll hold down the Option key and Shift and drag it inward, and I'll just position this how I like it. Now you'll notice, we'll commit that, and I'll zoom in quick, and you'll notice that there is blank areas up here, and that's fine. That's because this frame is not the same aspect ratio of the design that we made. So that's no problem. We'll just add a new layer by Command or Control clicking in the Layers panel to add the new layer below. And we'll just do a quick fill with white by choosing Edit, Fill, and we'll choose white from the contents. And that'll fill in that background. And that's it. So now we can save this file. This is the Smart Objects file. So we'll just save it, close it. And when we pop back over here to the mockup, we can see that's it. It's already in place. So we're going to create another file to go over here. So we'll repeat, make a new blank file with all the same settings. But this time I want to fill the background with that brown color that we sampled. So I'm going to make sure I've got that active, and I'll press Option or Command Delete to fill it. Grab my type tool. We'll use red. And I'm going to click up here and I'll type happy. Duplicate that. Holidays. We'll make that, let's say, that green color again. One more here, to you. We'll make that yellow. Okay, so I kind of like when these type layers are overlapping each other. So I'm going to bump them up a little bit so they're on top of each other. Maybe even we can offset them a little bit. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, we'll leave them offset. But I do want to transform the whole thing to make it fit the space a little better. So I'll select all those layers and Command or Control T. We'll do that and drag that to about there. And let's save this document. We'll call it Design 2. I want to save it as a PSD to keep those layers so you can actually print this later if you want. And again, we'll select all of it and copy merged, and then we can close it. And now we'll double click the icon for this layer. That'll open up that smart object. We'll get rid of that design layer and Command Shift V or Control Shift V to paste in a centered copy of the design. We will transform it, make it fit on our space. There we go. And again, I need to fill in this background. So I'm going to make another new blank layer. We'll fill it with this brown color, and that looks good. So this again is that smart object. So we just save it, close it. It's a temporary file, so It exists only for this purpose of the mock-up. So we can close that, and then that's it. Here's our mock-up. You can see both designs in the existing frames with colors that look great together. So nicely done.